Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite dark sorcerer, Michael Hyson, aka Angelus, son of Abaddon. Um, Tonight, I'd like to discuss some upcoming plans, things that I've got planned for ritual workings over the next couple of weeks. Now, I've been going through demonolatry. I have been delving through all the past workings, rituals, and everything that I've been working with, all the Deitus, the gods and beings, spirits, demons, angels, things like that that I've worked with in the past and plan on doing again. Except for this time around, I'm going to be going further into ritual. Basically, the more in depth with knowledge seeking and ritual workings. Now, I want to commune with them on a more personalized level. Basically, I want to invoke them. I want to be going between the worlds and really delve into that relationship with these beings. And I've been going through just about every pantheon that I've worked in and have practiced over the last 29 years. And I've decided to work on with the gods of death, specifically that of necromancy. From the Goetia to the Loa, such as Baron Samedi, working with the Aztec gods of death, to the Incan Supe, Egyptian Anubis, Hades in Greek, Hell in Norse, Mephistopheles. Even working as far as working with the Angel of Death personally. You know, working with Samael, the Venom, to Azazel, the Ancient Darkness, delving further into the abysmal commune workings. Okay. And the reason I've chosen necromancy is because of the fact that it's one of the primary practices that I've practiced over the years outside of traditional Satanism. And even though I enjoy working with the Demerge, the demonic, um, I think there's a lot more that can be gained by working with them, especially through the death or da'ath essence, such as in the Tree of Death, the Kabbalah or Hermeneutics, the Klipothic aspects. And these rituals that I've got planned, I'm definitely going to be recording live. And the reason for that is because of the fact that be it here or on YouTube, Facebook, I want it to be seen that this type of stuff is real. It's things can transpire. Even the recorder can even pick things up that the mundane or human ears, the practitioner's ears, doesn't. It may be a glimmer through the incense smoke, such as a face appearing, or it could be a glimmer of a being within, say, the crystal ball, or say, for example, the candle magic. Okay. And candle magic is something that I do recommend, especially to those of you getting into demonolatry or the past working with necromancy and Satanism. And this is why. It's always best to work with your natural element. Okay. If you're a fire element, like say an Aries, okay, it's best to work with that element. If you are a Leo, then you want to work with the earth, or say for Aquarius, water. Okay. You really want to work with that element because it will booster your own magical workings. It's not just your perception of energy transference. It's not just about moving between planes of existence or dimensions. It's more about your knowledge as a practitioner. Okay. A well-balanced practitioner is able to not, how should I say this? I think Sumnus Dreadwood actually said it best within Charnel Whispers, is a well-balanced practitioner doesn't belong to or submit to one side or the other, such as being alive or death, but balancing themselves in a healthy state between the realms and learning to maneuver both. Okay, delving in and learning new aspects, new traditions, new methods of transference, okay, and maneuverability, okay. And practicing necromancy has many, many different instruments that can be used as tools, such as the scrying mirror of Lilith, okay, the succubus, the vampiric queen, um, and the mother of all Demerge, okay. Her image goes all the way back into an Anna, and can also go into the 10th century Tiamat, okay, and such. So, I mean, there's a lot of aspects that are opened up through necromantic rituals and workings. So it's not just a scrying mirror or candle magic. It's also divination bowls, things that allow you to peer into other realms. It's not just that, but also to be able to astral project into these dimensions, these planes of existence. So, I mean, those who really want to get into this type of working, there's a lot of different techniques and a lot of different methods you can use. I would recommend for those of you who want to get into this, two of the best practitioners groups around in divination and soul travel. It would be S. Connolly, her books, specifically that of Bringing Down Belial, the complete book of Demonolatry, and the complete book of Demonolatry by S. Connolly. Her works, especially Honoring Death, is a very good book. That was actually her first book, and I do recommend it. When she told me about it, I thought I had all the good books by her, when it came for adult wise. And when I found out about it, I went and got it. I found it online and bought it, and I could see why she got into the necromancy aspects of it. Very, very awesome rituals and stuff within just that field. Okay, and the other one is the Mazajira Cabal system, specifically that of the 13, let's say, for an example, the Black Scriptures, Charnel Whispers, Profane Seals, Spheres of Devastation, getting into the Rites of the 13 Tongues, for an example. These books here are awesome, specifically in that of necromancy and herbalism, making oleums and stuff like that. You can add and doing rituals, working with seals and sigils, okay? Not just divination tools such as bone casting, okay? But there's a lot of things that Sumnus Dreadwood talks about and has released in his works, okay? And so I think if you really want to get into that, or you just want to learn the history of necromancy, okay, number one, if you want to practice, I would recommend the two that I just named off, okay? But if you want to read up on the history of necromancy and the practices there, I would recommend Lucien Raffacal, okay? His work, the book Necromancy, The Forbidden Art, spectacular, okay? Christian Days, The Witch's Book of the Dead, incredible, okay? There's a lot of history there, and both of these books were very, very well written, okay? One of the other ones, if you're more into the experimentation aspects, look at Richard Keffer, okay, his work, such as the necromancy book manual for the 15th century necromancer. Okay, it's called Forbidden Arts. It's a manual for the 15th century necromancer, and it was based off the Munich manuscripts, okay, which were much older. And there's a lot of work there that is incredible. I think it's on page 187, region. You'll find the Mirror of Lilith in there. So I mean, and not just how to make it, but to actually learn about it. It's an incredible book just based off the grimoires. Okay, there's a lot of grimoires that actually speak of necromancy as well, and working with the Demerge, such as the Goetia, based off Solomantic workings. All right, so you can actually get into those as well, such as the Grand Grimoire Red Dragon. That, in my opinion, has more information on necromancy workings than that of the original Grand Grimoire. The Grimoire of Armadale, the Magus, Eliphas Levi, a lot of these big time authors, such as Francis Barrett's The Magus, okay, speak of Eliphas Levi's work. Okay, get into Eliphas Levi's work, and you have the Ritual and Doctrines book of High Magic. Okay, a lot of good propaganda in there. A lot of material that's awesome for necromancy workings. It describes his own personal experience there. Okay, so there is a lot of stuff that you can get into. It's the question of how far you're willing to take your practices and what you're willing to get into. Okay, for me, there's no limitation to what I'm willing to do. Okay, because I want that. I welcome them with open arms. I'm not going to cast a circle with a triangle of evocation and say, hey, I force you to do my bidding. No, I'm going to work with them one-on-one with respect, because to me, I've gotten more results from that. So, I mean, even working with the Blighton Lords, such as Zazazel, the Buried King, working with the Servitors from some of the Stredwood's books, I've gotten a lot of benefits from them. So, I mean, it took about a month or so before I even saw results from those workings. But you have to understand that time has no meaning to these beings. They have all eternity, whereas we just are blimps along their paths. Okay, so there is a lot of things. Now, do you have to fear them? No. Do you respect them? Yes. Okay. But like I said, it does come down to what you're willing to do. Hey, Dagon, the Fallen, how are you doing? So, when you get if you decide to get into necromancy, there's a few authors that I recommend from a couple of different groups, or I should say point of views. You can even get into Sorceress Cagliostro, the Necromancer. Her books, the Blood Sorcery Bible, Volume 1 and 2, spectacular. I'm actually on the third time through Blood Sorcery Volume 2. And I've been going back and forth between the Dark Arts and some of the Stredwood's works, and currently going through the other grimoires, such as the Clavicle of Solomon, the Keys of Solomon, and the True Black Magic, and the Grimoire Infernum, along with the Secrets of Solomon. Okay, these works are incredible. I mean, you get into the demonolatry aspects, and you see these agents of death and destruction, and what they're capable of doing. So, I mean, getting their sigils, their seals, working with them, giving offerings, stuff like that. Thank you. I'm glad you like the material that I put forth. So, I mean, there's a lot of beings that are capable of things such as persuasion, the knowledge in the arts and crafts. Okay, for an example, if you look at the 9 kings, you have 3 groups, 3 kings, Belith, Belial, and Paimon, who are considered beings of persuasion. Okay, whereas Persian, Viney, and Zagon are considered to be beings of knowledge, teachers, or Balaam, rather, I should say. And then you have Zagon, Asmodai, and what's the one? A Ball, okay, who are known for a different thing, okay? So, I mean, you got to look at their history and what they can do. Okay. So, when you look at, say, Agares, for an example, he brings devastation and destruction. Okay. Whereas, say, working with Balith, or let's go with Balaam. Okay. Balaam, for an example, is a seducer. Okay. He's known for seducing women. Whereas, say, for an example, Asmodai is a demon of wrath. He's an angel of wrath. He's known for desire. Okay. Paimon's good at persuading people's minds. And then you have Belial, who is the master. He's the individual. He teaches individuality. Okay. And bestows senatorships and excellent familiars. Okay, so I mean, you have to look at the being that you're dealing with or wanting to deal with, and for what purpose. Okay. Hey, Tasha Johnson, how you doing? So seriously, you really have to look at what you're planning on doing, what your goal is. Look at the ritual that you're doing. Is it for destruction? Is it for compassion ritual, like, say, gain spiritual insight? Okay, mediumship type stuff, or are you looking for lust rituals or whatever? These things are, there's so many different classifications of rituals that can be fall just underneath three classifications: compassion, lust, and destruction. In this case, like I said, I'm looking at all the agents of death, okay, from every point of view. Papa Nebo, um, Baron Samedi, okay, Supe, looking at Anubis, Hades, Hell, Hecate, Urshkagal, and Anna. Okay, so even into the Aztecs. All right, so really, when you get into them, look at what you're trying to do and what your goal is. Okay, what type of ritual are you planning to do? Don't overthink it. Just go with what feels right to you, but also look at it from this point of view. It's not going to be upfront. It's probably going to take days. It's probably going to take hours. Okay. Some will probably just come and commune with you and you won't even know it. Okay. Others will speak behind your ear and when you're the only one there. Okay. I've had that happen a few times, and trust me, I've looked and it's like, wait, I'm the only one here. Where the hell did that come from? So trust me, when they speak, it comes out of the blue and it's surprising. Okay. But then you got those who will make you work for it. All right. Some will just commune through divination tools such as the scrying mirror, the candle flames. You'll see, and through the void meditation or some form of meditation. Okay. If you do it correctly, you'll see images, you'll see designs, okay, geometric shapes, perhaps even beings, faces. Okay. And trust me, you want to keep a journal so that you can write it down immediately. Okay. And this is so you don't forget important details. Okay. And I actually keep 3 sets of notes myself: one on my computer, one on notebooks, and then one in a journal. All right. And we've been trying to get everything from that I've written over the years into digital. So, yeah, that's a pain in the ass. Okay, but still. But yeah, you do have to look at everything and do what you got to do. Okay, but just keep in mind that they work on a different time frame than us. Okay, just because we want it now doesn't mean it's going to happen now. Like I said, it could take hours, it could take days, weeks, okay, even months. I've had that happen. Okay, the last ritual I did working with the Blighting Lords, okay, took a month and a half to 2 months before I even saw results. And then 3 months down the road, it just hit me like they've been working in the background. Okay. And just noticing what happened through my own job. Okay. So keep that in mind as well. All right. I will keep you updated on what I do. And like I said, I will be showing live videos when I do these rituals and these rites so that everything's recorded. And I will try to keep them under 30 minutes or around 30 minutes. That way, because I've been told that my my rituals and everything that I do, especially lesson plans that go an hour, hour and a half, kind of get a little boring. And it's like, yeah, I'm not British. Um, but so yeah, I've been trying to cut those down too. So, all right. So have a good night. And like I said, I will keep you updated. Agios Satanas, have a good night.